Ladies and gentlemen, this is Internet Personality Vangelus, and the next near-production test shot Badcube bug core member I'm talking about is the team's other big bad beetle Borg. This is Hypno, the team's psychological warfare specialist, who's all ready to mind control fools and drop bombshells on their friends and family. Robotic rhinoceros beetles make me smile, and Hypno is vying to be one of the cutest ones I've come across. He's a lot more plump-looking than the G1 bombshell toy, and much of that is due to his having a set of 6 fully realized and meaty little bug legs. They pass my favorite insect toy test in that they're strong enough to hold Hypno's bug body off the floor rock-hard style. He's got the same colors as his insectoid compadres, with the mixed gloss and matte finishes on the black parts, and a couple of touches of flat red and metallic blue paint. And I still really love this silver paint. I want to bathe in it and ride into Valhalla. Hypno's cockpit opens just like Claymore's, and the possibly intentional upshot is that you can raise a teeny little cannon out of it. Pew pew, mind control, mind control! And I love posing this bug mode's legs. They've each got 2 joints, and just over half of those are heavy, buttery detents. It's gorgeous. Once you get used to how they work, you can get this guy into adorable asymmetrical postures that look kinda creepy and kinda snuggly. Also, his beetle horn can wave around in a fairly limited cone of waggle, and I just keep going back to the legs. Hypno also comes with a pink cube. Are you noticing a pattern? Can you guess how many cubes come with the Value Pack 3-pack in total? Do you want to start a betting pool? Will you give me a cut of the profits? Are you a narc? Hypno goes to great lengths to hide all of his bug legs as he proceeds to robot mode, and 2/3 of them suck right into his shoulders and forearms. I'm always a big fan of thin, stick-like things getting out of the way and not waggling around while I'm trying to transform my darn robot toys, so thumbs up to Hypno. Anyway, this toy's major magic trick is changing the purple vest into a gray vest, and the execution involves lifting one layer off to reveal the other. Pretty slick. The purple parts hide away inside of Hypno's legs, which have similar transformation concepts to Claymore's, but are a lot more straightforward in their execution. Maybe a little too straightforward. While hiding away more legs and preparing a slim yellow backpack, you're going to have to remove the big beetle horn. There's no way to leave it attached, as its stalk is going to fold away within the tight confines of his robot mode stomach, but hey, there's a tab for it on the backpack, 'cause hint hint, it's a gun. 180-degree spinal column flips to reveal the head are one of my favorite tricks, and make for a pleasant cherry atop a pleasant transformation, which was just as fun and nearly as quick as Claymore's was in the previous video. Sharing Claymore's chunkier toy-to-tune aesthetic, Hypno has a whole lot of shapes and details drawn from Bombshell's 80s cartoon appearance, and thanks to that crazy bit of transformation detail, he also shares the animation model's amazing color-changing chest, now gray for robot mode. Hypno's forearms and shoulders are much bulkier than the animation model, mostly due to the nature of the mass of the folded bug legs. I'm fine with how those parts look, but I really wish Hypno's collar vents were taller. I always enjoyed how the animation model looked like his head was straight up buried inside a row of fins. There is a whole lot right with Hypno, but everything below the knees is suffering enormously for the sake of the transformation. His lower legs are big black boxes, lacking any kind of slope and bloating out much wider than his thighs, and his feet are just sturdy 3-segment planks. This doesn't bother me a lot, as it feels in line with the look of the rest of the figure as a solo piece, but it wreaks havoc on his feelings of cleanliness when you stand him next to Claymore and other toys that these guys are meant to hang out with. Moving on to brighter horizons, I think Hypno's got a bangin' head sculpt, with its big loud grill and teeny skull-top cannonette. At a glance it looks a bit too big, but a couple screenshot comparisons have convinced me that it's got just the right percentage of bulge. When it's not stored on his back, Hypno's beetle horn firearm uses the Badcube tab handle to slot into his palm. It's kind of funny to see the same shape of gun simultaneously in his hand and on his head. It's like they engineered in a kind of wiggy-looking, perhaps sort of animation error. I guess what I'm saying is if a third party perhaps was working on some kind of masterpiece Ratchet and now maybe has been undercut by an upcoming official masterpiece Ironhide, just make Ratchet tiny like in that really funny bit of animation error and, I don't know, release him as like Wee Medic, and I'll get back on topic now. So I said Claymore was real, like, kind of fun and chunky, solid, and playable. Hypno is as well. Just get that out of the way. He can take a whole lot of those. He can do backflips. And the only thing I'd say to be careful of is a little laser up here. Like, that's attached by a little tiny hinge on a little tiny stalk. Try not to drop him straight on his head. That might go badly. I mean, like, only an idiot would literally drop him like that onto that little thing. so don't do that. As for posability, he's got a ball-jointed neck with a great range, just waggle and tilt and raise and lower and who's a-talking to me all over the place. His waist joint is a ball socket joint like Claymore, but this one really just for side-to-side motion. There's a little bit of tilt here and there, but nothing beyond like just a touch of emotion to any pose you're already putting him into. His shoulders, though, these are kind of cool. So Claymore's shoulders were big, like, ball socket joints, and I think that was a case of the design working for that, thus, you know, way less parts count. This guy, he looks a lot different, and so he's got a whole lots of joints up in here's. He's got this part swiveling forwards and backwards, like the entire yellow section. Then he's got a different detented joint going outwards, and then he's got another joint from the transformation that detents forwards and backwards in this axis. Hypno has gorgeous shoulder articulation. I guess, you know, he lucked out in that he's got these bulbs on the sides of his shoulders, thus a ball socket connection just wouldn't do. There's one problem here, though. If you move his shoulder outwards, then you lower it by grabbing here, leaves all that bug leg stuff up there, because this is the part that actually contains the detented joint. So then you have to push that down again. So hold the whole shoulder together when you're doing this, and then you'll be set. I would have said immediately, why doesn't this lock into this? And I think that because the ratchet joint is connected to the bug leg armature first and foremost, and this is kind of a shell around the edge of it, I'm not sure if a simple friction clip would have held this onto this. I think that they'd have to have done some kind of like fold around, I don't know, wrap around hinged deal. Anyway, there's also a bicep swivel. There's a double jointed elbow. Does not curl up quite as delightfully as Claymore's, but Hypno still can curl in past 90 degrees. He's got wrist swivels, and he can do that. His hands are a whole lot like Claymore's in that they look okay when they're just hanging out or when they're balled up. His hips, 3 clicks, just like Claymore's. Soft, buttery detent, just like Claymore's. Dedicated thigh swivel, whole lot like Claymore's. In fact, the like the little bit of you know, dotted circle detail there on the inside of the hip looks a lot like Claymore's too. I wonder if they might be sharing a little bit of construction. I'm not certain about that. This guy has got double jointed knees, and just like Claymore's, they're more so double jointed to allow for a 90-degree bend with these gigantic chunks of boot. So he's not going to be doing like straight up kung fu. He can still, you know, do a rider kick so he can walk the path of heaven and all that, but it's not like acrobatic double jointery. As for his feet, can they? No, they don't really tilt forward or backwards at all. No, they don't tilt forward or backwards, but they tilt hardcore. Now they are kind of like planks, but they still tilt. So congratulations, he can, you know, stand solidly like this if he just kind of feels like looking like an idiot. So his posability is pretty good. I think Claymore's was a little bit nicer, but this guy's shoulders are so much better than Claymore's or Kickbutt's. I wonder if they, I don't know, push this guy past those two on their virtues alone. Like, he can get himself going like he's plotting and scheming. He can look like he's jumping all dynamically and anime style. Real fun to pose this guy. I like this guy and Claymore a great deal. Hypno is easily on par with Claymore as far as having a solid build quality and imaginative, fun transformation. I mean, engineering in a solution to have his chest sections color swap between purple and gray is hardcore respectable in my book. And as far as bug modes go, I think Hypno is the top of the heap, thanks to his shape and those amazing clicky little bug legs. He does so much right that I find myself coming down harder than I expected on his boxy lower legs. They're just so wide, and while the spring-powered kneecap shift helps, I really wish they could have compressed a few millimeters somehow. The rest of the figure just looks a full step up from the knees up. Also, if you don't like a gray-chested bombshell, well, the Badcube value pack is following cartoon coloration, and it is what it is. There will be a purple-chested Toy Colors version down the road with a clear cockpit and chrome in place of the silver painted parts and some die-cast somewhere, but I can understand wanting a flat finish and purple chest. I'm a purple-chested bombshell man myself, but damn if the color change engineering doesn't win me over to the gray chest club this one time. Anyway, this has been Internet Personality Vangelus, and you've got one more click to make to move on to the third video in the Evil Bug Core Value Pack trilogy. Hop to it before you get kicked back! Please don't make me continue. It's starting to hurt.